I want to talk to you about something that we've kind of touched on before briefly. And it's a snare that's easy for the most devoted Christian to fall into. And that is being about God instead of being in God. And in a different video, I talked about a period of time where I got really involved in sort of the intellectual pursuits, and I maybe missed just being in the presence of God the way that I was at other times. So this is sort of tangential to that, but it's a little bit different. Especially those of us in ministry, we can get really wrapped up with doing for God, which is great. We should do for God, and that's really important. I'm in no way trying to minimize that. But we get really caught up in doing for God instead of just being in God. We forget. This is the reason, not just in ministry, but in our life, even those that aren't in an official ministry. This is one reason that we come down off the mountain with the Lord. You know, we talked about there's times with the Lord that you're on the mountaintop with Him. Everything is just amazing. You really feel His presence. You really hear His voice. And so we want to stay there, right? And we make note of what we do. And, you know, because we want to stay there. So we're like, all right, I'm doing my devotions check. I'm doing my Bible study check. I'm doing this. I'm doing that because I want to stay on the mountain. And then we're like, well, why did that change? This is apart from sin, okay? The mountain at some point kind of goes away and we find ourselves not on the mountain anymore, but we're doing all the same things. Well, this is the reason why, is because those things became rote. Those things became things that we're doing, and yes, we're getting intellectual knowledge out of it. We're being obedient and spending the time with the Lord, but somehow our heart changed. I really don't think that it's not that He is, isn't still there in the same way that He was, or isn't still speaking to us in the same way that He was. I mean, there's certainly times and seasons, but with the Lord, but a lot of the time it's us. It's not Him. It's our heart that changed without our even knowing it. Whether our prayers and our Bible studies became intellectual, and we're looking for simply the answer and the meaning and the cross references, and we get maybe the intellectual lesson, like if we would fill in a worksheet. This is how we apply it to our lives. But we miss the heart, like where you just say, Lord, where am I in this? And are you happy with me in this? And do I have any dark places that I need to bring out into your presence, into your light, that you need to point out to me so I can clean them up? Lord, what is it that you need me to do here? I feel, maybe you're already convicted from what you read, or maybe you read something and you're like, well, yeah, I know that, I've been doing that. No problem. But bring it to God, and, is it really no problem? Or maybe you have the application, but every day we should do a heart check. Every day it's so easy to get occupied with these other things in life, and be looking at the clock in our Bible time, our study time, and be like, okay, I've got 30 more minutes until I have to whatever, and or, oh, did I turn the oven on for dinner? It's got to be preheating right now. Or, or if you do it first thing in the morning, I have X amount of time before I have to get ready for work, or, whatever it is. We get preoccupied with these things, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. We have Jesus, and Jesus is enough. And we should be content in Him in our hearts. We should bring Him our hearts every single morning. And it stops us from getting in rote and religious sort of patterns without even realizing it. So I would love to hear your thoughts, and I hope that this has helped somebody out there. If you can relate or if it's a help, let me know in the comments. And I would love to hear your experiences as well. And your experiences, should you decide to type them up, that may really help someone else. It's a way to help somebody without making a video or anything. So, yeah, that's it. Take care and savor your Savior.